All right, Adam, I think that you will be happy to notice that the correct lineup lock time was on the graphic this time.
I love it. I saw that last week after the fact, and I went, wait, 5 a.m. there in California? That's not right.
No, wasn't good. Left over for some other things I was doing. Anyways, we are Draft for Upside. We are here with In the Cup PGA edition, thanks to ilogicmedia.com. I am Johnny Danger. With me is Brewery Mark and Adam White. How are you guys?
Good. Great. Grand.
Look, I know that Adam was thirsty waiting for Mark. So what's in your cup, Adam?
I was just celebrating Mark's recent NHL DFS success. He's been crushing it. But we've got a little Wolverine NZ pills, my neighbors.
I like it.
To the south. Picked these up a few minutes ago, so I'm ready to go.
That's right. I dig it. Mark, how about you, buddy?
Oh, I'm being lame tonight. I just have some all-day IPA by Founders.
Yeah, that's a classic. And Adam, of course, your business right next to Wolverine at Measure Golf Ann Arbor. Make sure you get up into Measure Golf Ann Arbor for all of your custom clubs and swing coach needs. And make sure you go there and tell him Johnny Danger sent you. And if you book an appointment with Adam, Johnny gets a free lesson. So get those lessons booked. I like it. I need them. I need those lessons.
If I can fix you, I can fix anyone.
The unofficial sponsor of the show makes Adam laugh every time.
It's true. It's true.
I like it. Also, guys, you can find all of our premium content on all sports going on right now over at fantasyfootballblueprint.com. So make sure you go over there, check them out, and see what we're up to. Myself, I've got this monstrosity of a beer here that my good buddy Ben over at Ascension dropped off at my house. It is called Slice of Life Gorilla Juice. This is an imperial stout with toasted coconut, graham cracker, chocolate, raspberries, and whole vanilla beans, coming in at a smooth 15.5%.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, 15.5%. You did say that.
Sir. Oh, I said that.
Sticking to one tonight then, huh?
Maybe. Let's see what happens. Sad news on the iLogic front, Mark. I don't know if you saw, but my co-host Justin for the up-and-coming show, Whiskey in History, I think he's got COVID, so we've got to push it back.
Oh.
So it will not be tomorrow night. It will be on Monday the 8th.
I did see the cancellation. I hope he's okay.
I do too. I asked him how he's doing today, and he did not respond. But, hey, it's fine. I'm sure he's fine. He's good. Anyways, guys, we've got some PGA to talk about. Mark, you were all over Siwoo Kim last week. I had my absolute all-Asian lineup, did the best again. Na from 2 weeks ago, Kim from this week. I made a cool like $6.50 back on my $25. It was nice.
Yeah, I doubled up. I did a net profit of 45, so put 45 in and 190.
Nice.
Very solid. Yeah, I had a good week on the cash side and a not so good week on the tourney side, the GPP side. But luckily I was invested about half and half, so broke even last week. Cantlay helped a lot.
Oh, we lost Adam. Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
man. Cantlay did well. He was my favorite pick of the week for myself, but I couldn't pair them all together.
Crazy good weekend. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I had 2 5 or 6 lineups go through. The other player I was high on was Henley, and he ended up missing the cut. Mm-hmm. So I had one player that I think overachieved and one player that definitely underachieved.
So, well, let's keep on moving, guys. Let's get on to this week. It's in the past. We're going to move forward, and we're going to go to the Farmers Insurance Open. Adam, tell us all about it.
Well, before we move on, I think we did hit on some pretty solid picks last week, though. On top of Siwoo Kim, we did have Cantlay that we mentioned. Finau, which we talked about last week, was going to be a little lower owned than usual since he's a DFS darling. Had a good week and contended right until the last few holes, until Siwoo and Cantlay kind of caught fire there towards the end. And then we had some good value plays that did quite well last week as well. So it was not a terrible week whatsoever. There's a couple guys that are trending who we're going to talk about this week. And I also did a model this week, and I think it's messing with me. I'll tell you guys why here in a few minutes. But
so Finau continues to just disappoint on day 4. Is he just going to do that for his entire career?
No, he's going to win this week.
Okay. All right.
Heard it here first. So Torrey Pines, we're going to focus on the South course because it is the course they'll play 3 out of the 4 rounds on. But it can be described as a big golf course. So if you're a great driver of the golf ball, combining accuracy and distance, gaining a lot of strokes off the tee, this is a great course. A guy like a Rory McIlroy, a John Rahm, guys that really drive it long and straight are going to have a really big advantage this week. It's also going to be a little bit windy, so it's going to change kind of how the course plays. I expect it to, over the weekend, firm up a little bit, and we got some rain potential in the forecast for the first couple of days. But this course is a par 72, so we do have 4 par 5s. We were just discussing pre-show how they are all rather long, 2 of them in the 565 to 575 range, and then 2 over 600. So it's 78, just under 7,800 yards in total. So depending on pin positions, probably on Sunday it'll play over 7,800 yards, which is extremely long. However, the greens are smaller than PGA Tour average, so that is why one of our favorite stats this week is going to be in play, because guys are going to be hitting a lot less greens than they did last week, and definitely less than the week before at Sony. So strokes gained ARG is going to be in play heavily this week.
I made a model and I weighted that at about 35%. So I'm taking it seriously.
That's probably a little more serious than you need to be, but definitely serious. I always like to start each week off. By the way, this course is in the San Diego, California area. It's up on the cliffs, basically overlooking the Pacific Ocean, so you have some beautiful views. But it's got some decent elevation changes, and it's not an easy course. I mean, they've held U.S. Opens here. Tiger most famously won here in 2008 over Rocco, mediating a playoff. But I don't expect the winning score to be super low given the conditions we just talked about. You've seen the winning score really fluctuate between 6 under and 21 out of the last 3-4 years. Last year it was at 15, and I think it's going to be around there again this year. So I like starting my week by thinking about, at the course this week, the way it's playing with the weather conditions, what the winning score is going to be around. So that's kind of where I'm starting, and we'll get into some of the stat categories here. Mark, do you have your stat categories picked out for the week besides the aforementioned strokes gained ARG?
Yeah, before we do that, let me throw you some stats here on Torrey Pines. So Torrey Pines South is the longest course on the PGA Tour. Last year it checked in as the 4th hardest par 72 at only half a stroke gained over par. So that's very interesting. It's also, the South course is ranked top 15 toughest in fairways hit, greens and regulation, proximity to the hole. Birdies are better, scrambling, and par 3, par 4, and par 5 scoring. It's all in the top 15 hardest on the PGA Tour. And we're playing that 3 times this week. The other course is the North course, and the interesting thing about there is they redesigned it a couple years ago, and they now have the hardest 3-hole stretch in any PGA tournament. This is the par 4 second, the par 3 third, the par 4 fourth. They have nicknamed this the undertow because it's so hard. Last year, 2017, John Rahm, on his way to winning this, went par, bogey, par, and that was considered great for that 3-hole stretch.
Wow.
So just a few things to throw it out there. To me, this is the first real challenge of the new season, and we have the players to challenge that out. We even have a Rory McIlroy sighting this week.
We do, flying over from the Middle East this week. just to expand on that too, this course, the North course, although they're only playing one round on it, but the greens are much bigger. They're actually bent grass, whereas the South course is POA. So it's going to be interesting to see how the putting numbers kind of stack up this week. But yeah, it's kind of like, to me, the first few weeks have kind of been a warm up. It's almost like normal season schedule, the NBA before Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas, you kind of have the big kickoff. Everyone's starting to pay attention. A lot of times Tiger plays in this, but he just had back surgery again. So he's out for a little while. So yeah, it's good to see some big names up there. I mean, Rahm and Rory's a heck of a start to any field. So let's roll. Let's dig in.
Yeah, for stats, I think I'm going to start my model out on off the tee, because it's so long. You're going to focus on the long hitters. Fairways hit. ARG, I love ARG as a stat. I think that'll probably be 3 or 4, and probably tee to green for me.
Yeah, tee to green's going to be critical. You have to put yourself in position off the tee, and there's no guarantee you're hitting the green, even if you do. So,
and then with all the par fives, and the fact that you really need the birdie all the par threes, I'm going to look at par 5 scoring, and birdies are better.
I like it. Yeah, you got to take advantage of your scoring opportunities this week. So, you guys ready to start knocking this out? Get into the top range?
Yeah,
I know Danger there. Danger was furiously building a model before we came on. What'd you end up with?
I loaded it full of ARG, and that's where I stopped. So I'm just taking the top 6 guys in ARG, throwing them in the lineup.
We lost Adam, but we'll continue.
We'll continue anyways. I am trying to log into my Draftkings. It's been all funny since I had all the sports betting apps that went live. Everything's like making me re-log in. So give me a second.
My bad.
No, you're good.
No, I'm not. I'm stupid.
It's all good. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to load.
We're always so professional on this podcast.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. They go hand in hand.
I like it. All right, Adam. While I'm trying to pull up the contest, get logged back into my DraftKings here. One of the things that I usually look at when we're at the start of the season is how well people have been playing the last few weeks, and course history, of course, in this place here. Who tops the list for you on recent form and course history here?
As far as a combination of both?
Yes.
He doesn't necessarily have the recent form outside of last week, because that was the first time he played in a while. But Rory, of the top guys, is definitely up there for me. Finau has finished top 10 3 of the last 4 years and finished 13th the year that he didn't. We saw last week he just contended, so that's definitely a guy that's right there, up at the top of the price range here. It's not fantastic recent history here, but Ryan Palmer has finished top 30 as high as 13th the last 3 years, and he plays this course really well. He flights it low, so we talked about the wind. That'll help him here. Leash has shown some flashes, but I'm just not interested in Leash. The other combo guy, who was I just looking at? I just had her up, but that's a pretty good start up top there.
All right. Now that I've got everything, I was just saying that with all the sports gambling apps fired up in the state of Michigan as of Friday, DraftKings and FanDuel had booted me out, and I had to re-log in. So it's like a blessing and a curse. It's such a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, we're good. All right, let's take a look at the top of this then. So John Rahm grades pretty well in pretty much every model you're ever going to build when he's in the field, right? Has he ever not been top 2 when you run a model?
3 at worst.
All right. So I did notice, though, when I was running this model, we were talking about par 5 scoring, and he crushes in that category when you take it over as a whole. He's number 1 and 2 in the field in the 500 to 550 yard ranges, but when you get into the longer ones, which are on this course, you already said there's 565 to 625 on this course, and he is actually barely in the top 30. I think he was 35th and 36th in the field in the longer par 5. So what do you make of that? Not much.
I don't know. Rahm's an elite player. I think he's trending towards number 1 in the world, but I wouldn't make too much of that. I like what you did there overall.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Rahm's so damn good that you can't discount him just because of that.
Sure, I was just curious because you got to just try to find your edge here.
Yeah, love it.
I'm telling you here. So Rory had just an okay season, if you ask me. Right? He hung around. He finished high in the scoring. He finished high on the money list, but he didn't really take away any trophies, anything great last year. He just was there every week. I want to see him come out and just crush this course. I think that he's going to be my guy in the top end here.
I'm with you, but that scares me because when you and I both like something, it doesn't usually hit, but that's not going to scare me away either.
Right. I feel like he sat here this winter, watched that FedEx Cup, and didn't, he wasn't really a factor at all year long. And I think that he wants to come out and make a statement. I'm really feeling Rory.
I am too. There were some videos of him on the range last week, working with his coach, working with TrackMan, and had the top tracer behind him. You could see every shot. It was just a thing of beauty. So I sat there and watched it for like half an hour. I have a problem, but why I do what I do. Yeah, I love Rory up top. Absolutely loading up on him. I expect Rahm to be a little higher owned just because he had such a better year last year, and he's won here before, finished second last year. So Rory's where I'm starting at the very top. And then I also love Finau. I want these guys who just got a little bit of a taste and couldn't quite finish it off last week that are in great form and also have good course history. So those are the two guys in the 10K range for me.
Yeah, I'm only going to do 3 lineups this week. I did the 20 splash last week, and it just was so disappointing the way that it ended up. Like, I literally had probably 3 of the right pieces in all 20 lineups and just couldn't pull the second half of that lineup together. So I'm going to scale back. I'm going to take a cash approach and just see if I can put together 6 guys to make the cut. Mark, what do you like up here?
Yeah, so for good or bad, I'm going to make it a trifecta. Rory is my favorite. I watched him play in the Middle East last week. He looks really good. Fought his way to 3rd place. Now, you can say what you want. He's going to be flying over here and immediately jumping on the tee, but I don't think that really affects an elite athlete like that.
He ain't flying.
What's that?
He's not flying coach either.
Yeah, right. So other than Rory, I think Rahm's an obvious choice. So I will probably fade it because he'll be so over-owned. And I can say $300 going with Rory. Not a Finau fan, not a Xander fan. I can see myself playing a little bit of Patrick Reed, but not a lot. I know a lot of people. Well, that's it for the 10K range.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not into the Finau. Not that he's not a great play, Adam. I just can't pay 10-7 for the man when he just hasn't been able to finish. I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. I got to see him win before I could pay top 5 pricing for him.
To me, he's one of the first 3 or 4 guys I would expect. He's one of the first 3 or 4 guys I would put a top 5 bet on. So if we're starting there, that's enough for me. And I think being the 3rd highest priced guy in the field, I think that's going to scare some people off of him a bit.
We need to get one of these casino groups on as a sponsor. So now that we can gamble in Michigan for the first time during this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
I'm looking at the odds right now. We'll get into some betting stuff a little bit later, but you want to jump into the 9K range and start us off there, Marky Mark?
Sure.
Didn't we fade the 9K range last week almost completely?
We did. Yeah.
I'm not loving it again this week.
No, I'm not either. I love Sanjay M, and he's hot right now, but I think this course might be a little too much for him. Brooks just fired his coach, so I don't even know what's going on there. Hovland did not play good down the stretch last year. Wolf did not look good last week. Hideki's Hideki. Yeah, I can see maybe. Yeah, I feel like I'm fading this whole 9K range.
I'm trying to think through it a little more because I know one of these guys is going to pop up, and if I fade the entire range, it's going to piss me off when they do because they're in the 9K range for a reason. They're not terrible players, but there's a good argument for why not to play each and every single guy in this range. So
yeah, I suppose if you put a gun to my head, I'd go with Scheffler.
I'd go with Sungjae. Scheffler missed the cut by a wide margin here last year in his one appearance. And at least Sungjae's got 2 appearances here where he's made the cut and he's trended better each time. So
he is really playing good right now.
He is, and he's an every other week kind of guy. I was off him a couple of weeks ago because he hadn't played well the week before at Sony, and then he played really, really well the following week. So, and Danger was all over him that week. Yeah, let's
flop lag.
Stay with Sungjae. That's about it.
I'm going to completely go a different direction, my friends, and this is Matt Wolf's week. He disappointed last week. People are going to be off him. He's going to be low owned in this range. In this field in the last 50 rounds, number 1, shot gained approach. Number 4, shot gains ball striking. Number 19, shot gains off tee. Number 24 overall in balls in par 5 scoring, but excels in the longer range here. This is my dude, man, Matt Wolf. Matt Wolf's my dude. He's my first one in on my top 5 bet over at DraftKings Sportsbook.
He's a big hitter.
He is.
I'm going Matt Wolf, my friends. I'm starting off with Matt Wolf and Rory, and I'm going to be happy.
It's bold. I like it. The course fits him well, and he's the kind of guy that he can flip it from one week to the next. So I don't hate you for it.
All right. Other than that, I'm not really interested in this range. Yeah, Brooks, I'm not really interested in. Sungjae, I like him, and I do like that he is like the 10th guy on the list now, 8th guy on the list now. I like him when he's not one of the top 5 guys a lot more. So he might sneak into a few, but most of my shares are going to be at Wolf here. So let's move on. 8,000 range. I'll go ahead and start this one off for me. I love Ryan Palmer, man. I love Cam Smith. Cam Smith's my weakness, right? You know this. I love him. I'm not going to stop now. I think as long as he stays in that mid to low 8K range, I think he's still viable. I like Palmer. I don't know about Billy Ho. I think Cam Smith and Palmer are my guys here. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, with Cam Smith, I guess you just like guys that look like they came back from a 2-week retreat of no showering and no shaving. So
yeah, man. He looks like the kind of guy I want to invite to my mancation. That's what I'm saying.
He's got the COVID flow going. You can't hate him for it. It's all
That's
good.
Right.
All right, so here's the reason why I told you guys. I think my model is messing with me because I made a model this week. I usually don't build one because I think I got enough to go on most weeks. But this is the first guy my model spit out where I was like, wait a minute. It's Bubba Watson. He really hasn't played much lately, but he's got good course history here. The course suits him really well. He popped up number 4 in my model, which we talked about what the stat categories were that I pumped in there. I think I'm going to trust it. He's at 8,800. I can't think of a great reason why to fade him. So I'm just going to go with it. Another guy that makes me a little uneasy is Ryan Palmer, but he's been playing very well. I like him now that he's no longer, like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when you talked me off of him, you jerk.
No. The last time we talked about Ryan Palmer, we talked you off of him at Sony, and he was a good fade because he was like in the 9,000 range. That was a good fade. Anyway, I like Ryan Palmer again. Much tougher golf course. I think he has a better chance to win at courses where it's not 20, 25 under par. So I like him quite a bit there at the top of the 8K range. And then how do you fade Adam Scott? This course calls for ball strikers, and he's exactly that. I'm trying to keep it more concise this week too, with the number of players in my pool. So outside of that, I'm going with big Will Zalatoris. He has not played here before, but came out of the gates gunning last fall as a Korn Ferry Tour graduate, and he's fit for this course. He actually came up. He was top 10 in my model towards the tail end at number 9, and I'm not going to fight it. Trust the model.
I will tell you, Bubba Watson is number 11 in my model.
I'm telling you, it's a big course. He's a big hitter, the Bubba.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you got here? What about our boy Louis? You got some love for Louis? I mean, he's a cut maker.
I don't know. For me, my favorite is Siwoo Kim. I really like him. He's playing good. If you look at his stats, he's a little short off the tee, but he's in the top 10 in all the other stats that we discussed at the beginning. He's number 3 in ARG, where you look at Bubba, and Bubba is 98th in ARG. So, yeah, I think I can see myself playing some Siwoo Kim. I kind of, and even though I was joking about Bubba and his ARG, I do like Bubba in this situation. I think he's going to be an ownership play for me. I think he can do well in this course, but I will use him as a leverage play. Cam Smith's okay. Adam Scott doesn't really pop for me, and I do like Zalatoris. I'm with Adam there.
Yeah, the other thing with Bubba was he's actually number 1 strokes gained total at this event in his last 12 rounds here. Adam Scott's also top 5 there. I mean, these are just guys that they play well, and the thing with both of them is they both putt like good here relative to the field. Not great. They're never going to be like top 10 in the field in putting, but those guys can strike it, and if they can putt just well, not even like fantastic, they'll be good plays.
Yeah, digging into my model, I just adjusted it away from my ridiculous arc just for fun. But Rory grades out at like 24, but I still like him. Sorry, side note, I got distracted. All right, let's move on down here. So what about you, man? You like Louis. You usually like Louis. Is he just too expensive for a guy that you don't really think is going to win but will make the cut?
I'm usually pretty good with my Louis calls, whether it's good or bad, and it's almost always good. Like, I love Louis, don't get me wrong, and he could definitely contend, but just it's the gut this week. I don't like to usually listen to my gut, especially after I've eaten so much Taco Bell and pizza. But yeah, I'm going with the gut and fading Louis this week.
He's number 50 in my model, so I tend to agree.
My model did not love him either. That was the other part.
Yeah, didn't like him. All right, let's move along, shall we? All right, Mark, kick us off at the 7,900 range, starting with Cam Davis, Cam Champ. I could play an all Cam lineup this week.
Yeah, my favorite here is actually Corey Connors. He grades out number 9 on my model, 8th off the tee, 8th bogeys avoided, 7th tee to green, 24th birdies gained. So I really like him in this situation. And this is kind of that's too low. Oh yeah, no. And the other guy who I really considering here, even though you'll probably think I'm crazy, is Jordan Spieth. I know he's had a couple. He's been mediocre last couple of years, but he plays this course well. We haven't seen him yet this year, so I don't know. Kind of a gut play for me, I guess, as Adam would say.
You are trusting your gut. You must have better digestion than me recently. I could not stomach that one. Yeah, I don't know, man. He apparently like seeked out help from a different swing coach. Actually, the coach that Brooks Koepka just fired, it's that guy's dad, Claude Harmon's dad, Butch.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring that up is Butch Harmon's working with Jordan Spieth, and it's just like, okay, Butch Harmon's like one of my idols. So here we go. He's coached some of the best in the world, so let's see what he can do with Jordan.
I mean, Greg Norman and Tiger Woods, pretty good start, but he's not Jordan's full-time coach, but he did take a look at him. So I don't really like Jordan. I can't quite do it, but we're going to continue riding the Cam Davis train. That guy was impressive last week, had a really good chance to win. I liked the fire that he showed down the stretch. At 7,900, it seems a little expensive for him, but he's playing fantastic. So he's playing above his normal ability, and he's improved year over year. So let's go with it. A couple guys that you already mentioned, Corey Connors. He showed up. He always pops in the models because he's a great ball striker, but he has also finished. I'm thinking of Kokrak. Kokrak's finished top 20 here the last 2 years. He's also pretty solid in the model, but Coco's, it's a big golf course and he plays those well. So I'm definitely in on him. Did you mention Ricky Fowler at all?
I did not.
I got no love for Fowler. Tell me why.
The mighty have fallen, man. Fowler and Spieth were like two of the golden boys of the tour a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're both just like off the map. And
yeah, I'm looking at all my model calculations here, and he's not top 25 in any of them.
If you had told us that Ricky Fowler and Spieth would be 8,000 and 7,600 respectively at Torrey Pines in 2021, like 2 years ago, we would have gone, what do you
If you told me that Ricky Fowler, the best putter on the PGA Tour, changed his putting stroke, I wouldn't believe you, but that's what he did. And he looked horrible at the end of last year with that new putting stroke.
Yeah, I can't jump on it, even at 8K. I wanted to like him last week because he's a birdie maker, but I just can't do it. So we jumped on G Wood last week, and he paid off for his price. It's a little bit, it's an uneasy feeling looking at him as at a higher price in this field. However, last year he missed the cut. Then he finished 9th, 12th, and 20th the year before. When he's on his game, we know he's a great ball striker, tee to green. It's kind of what you need here. So I'm talking myself into G Wood at 7,800. The other guy that looked fantastic in my model is Mr. Sam Burns. This guy's a young up-and-comer. I could see him kind of making a splash, much like, Carlos Ortiz was consistent last year, broke through for a win in the fall. I could see Sam Burns having a year like that this year. He's been very hot and cold, but he's young, so he's learning. I like him at 7,700. I also had cut maker. If you want a guy who's going to make the cut and you're kind of rounding out your cash lineup, CH3. Anybody seeing love for CH3 this week?
HV3.
You're seeing love for HV3?
HV3 and my model.
Oh, in your model. I thought you were talking about the industry, but no, one of my favorite plays in the 7K range too that I think is going to go overlooked. He's been trending well. He withdrew last week because he tweaked his back. I don't know if it was spasms or what happened, but he's a full go this week. Is Charlie Hoffman. He finished.
I always like Charlie Hoffman.
Yeah, I love him. I wish he had the flow. I don't know if he can't grow the hair anymore.
I don't know. It's disappointing. I will say it took me a minute to find him, but CH3 ranks number 86 in my model.
My model did almost scare me away.
It did scare me away. I'm out, but I'm with you guys on Corey Connors. He's number 5 in my model.
Yeah, Coco is a good play this week.
He's number 5. The other guy that I like here in this range is right next to him, Emiliano Grillo. I think he goes underlooked by a lot of players, and he's just a steady, all-around player, plays well in these kind of conditions. I don't think people pay a lot of attention to him. He never seems to be very high owned in the ownership projections. 7,600, I think the guy could win here.
He always looks good in models, but he's coming off of a disastrous Sunday last week. And confidence is a big thing with him. When he starts tail spinning, he usually has a tendency to miss a lot of cuts. And he was tied for the lead going into the final round last week, I believe. So I think he is kind of on some people's radars, which is why he spiked in price a little bit in this field. I'm not feeling that.
I still like him, even though he's 113th in ARC.
Okay. I can't hate you for it. Anything at the lower end of the 7K range you guys like? Because I do have a couple.
All right, let's roll. Let me see what I got here. So we finished off about Hoffman there, right? All right, so flipping through here. I do like EVR now that his price is going back down again. I didn't like him. He was creeping a little too high for me, man.
He was 10th in my model.
Yeah, he's dead to me. But so he's dead to me though. But he's dead to me. Remember last week I said he was dead to me.
You did. And let me just expand on why my model is messing with me. You told me that I have a problem with EVR like you do with Cam Smith or whatever.
Yep.
So my model spit him out as the 10th highest rated player in my model. I do have a thing for him. I love his joggers, love his beard. But anyway, Luke List was the top player under 7K. Luke freaking List.
Yep.
Corey Connors was 4th. And then Doug Gim. I think Doug Gim might be my new kryptonite because I told him 2 weeks ago. And then he
forget that, dude. He's dead to me.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of the model. I might go with an all-model team. So
I'm going to tell you here, in the 7K low, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, but there's just a lot in the 7K range. All the way at the very bottom, HV3, I already said, he pops up at like number 13 in my model, and at 7K, can't go wrong there. Really good ball striker. Man, Sepp really just pissed me off last week, but Sepp sitting there looking good. Sabatini again. Sabatini is the kind of guy that I'm not putting a lot of faith in him, but when I'm rounding out and I've got a lineup and it just looks like it's going to be a really solid cash play, I like Sabatini a lot just to make the cut, finish maybe top 30.
He played great last week. That was kind of how I described him last week. And then he really exceeded my expectations and in a shootout was up there, contending for the lead into Saturday. So the form is there.
Yeah, EVR pops, Lanto pops for me. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, not much pops here for me. I like Dahmen a little bit, and
Lanto pops sound delicious, by the way, Danger.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking at my model here.
Honestly, if he would just change his name to Londo, I would put him in every lineup. Just saying.
So I've heard a lot of people in the industry talk about James Hahn and John Hu. Any love for them, Adam?
I mean, Hahn's been in my lineup for like 3 straight weeks, and that has been working for me. Just saying. But I always play a 100% Asian Tour lineup every week, so that's me.
I laugh because you said James Hahn and John Hu. It's John. Huh? Who?
Huh?
But either way. Yeah. No, I do like Jimmy Hahn. We talked about Jimmy Hahn a couple weeks ago. I think Danger brought him up at the Sony or maybe the week after.
Yeah, I talk about him every week. He's in my lineup every week.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
He's got the game for it. He was like top 30 in my model. I couldn't fault you for it. Like he wasn't one of the guys I wrote down and wrote notes on, but I don't hate him. What about Doc Redmond bouncing back after a dismal performance last week?
Oh man, I even said he was going to win. That didn't go well for me.
No, you said somebody else said that he was their biggest bet to win. They placed that week or something.
Yeah, I did say that, and we were both wrong.
Correct.
Didn't work.
Correct.
Didn't work for me.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me see where he fits. Let's see where he fits. I don't know. What do you got here? Anything, Adam?
In the 6Ks?
The low 7Ks. Yeah, Redmond's number 27. I mean, he looks good in approach. He looks good in ball striking.
He's fine. No, the guy
looks really good in bogey avoidance, but he's like third to last in the field in ARG. So, I don't know, man.
Yuck. No, the guy that I like a lot actually is Cam Tringali. When I ran my model on him, he popped up as the 17th highest rated player. He is 15th in birdies or better gained, 33rd in par 5 scoring, and he's not great in ARG, but he's 17th overall in the model, and I think he's got the kind of game. He's gained some distance the last couple of years. Got the kind of game that could play here at 7K. I wouldn't be shocked if he finished like top 25 in Draftkings scoring.
All right, Mark, anything to add in the 7K before we move along?
Nope.
All right, we're going to look for some value here, guys. We're going to start at the 6,900. I'm with you, dude, on the Luke List. I'm with you. It's Luke List week.
Dude, he's been absolutely mashing the ball off the tee, and when he's on, he drives it pretty darn straight too. So I'm in. Stuck me back in, Luke. Just don't do it to me again. Somebody else go.
Yeah. He's too choked. He's verklempt. Talk amongst ourselves. Mark, go ahead.
I like Kevin Streelman. God, I always want to play Norlander, but he just disappoints me every single time. I don't think I can pull the trigger on him. No, par 5 scoring, he's ranked 110th. I'm not pulling the trigger on him. What about a little Kramer Highcock? I know you like him, Danger.
Yeah, always, every time. You know it.
So Adam, I wanted to get your opinion on Patrick Rogers, right? Because he's a pretty big hitter, but he's not known for his short game. Do you think he has any chance here
to make the cut? Yeah, he's got a chance to make the cut. He's so sporadic. Strokes gained tee to green, I've got him at 121st over the last 12 rounds. He hasn't shown many signs of life. It's so perplexing because he was so damn good in college. He tied Tiger Woods' wins record in a season at Stanford. It doesn't make sense that he's this terrible in the pros, but
I'm gonna go away from the screen share for a minute because I've had a revelation.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I am.
Went the wrong way. There. Hi, everybody. It's just me now.
Cam, it's possible.
I can play 6 guys named Cameron in one lineup. Boom!
Tens of thousands of dollars do you have remaining?
$6,500 remaining. But it's not even all that bad. Cam Smith, Cam Davis, Cam Champ, Cam Tringali. Cameron Young, it was already going to be my tipsy pick. He pops in the model for no apparent reason. And then Cam Piercy, because, man, he makes ball look good.
I don't hate Cam Piercy this week. He could actually make the cut or something weird.
Right? I'm going to play this lineup, right?
I hope so.
It's going to happen. I'm sorry to interrupt. That was terrible radio for people listening without video. Probably terrible video for people watching, but it's fine. Everything's fine around here. So, yeah, man, I'm with you, Luke List, for myself here. Kramer, of course. Molinari playing well for me for the last few weeks. I can stay on the Molinari train, the pizza wagon, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back through here, this whole area wasn't hot for me. I really want to play Johnny Vegas just because I just like to say Johnny Vegas.
I was going to say Johnny Vegas actually pops a little bit in my model.
Play him.
And I'm going to tell you, Naismith continues to pop in my model.
Play him. Yep. Those are 2 guys I definitely like down here in the depths of the 6K range.
In the depths. In my complete tipsy pick, and I'll just ruin it right now, which I already said. Cameron Young, all the way at the bottom. I don't even know if I can find him. Where is he? There he is, second to bottom on the list, right there. And I'm telling you, Cameron Young. Look at that. 2 top 10s, 5 for 8 cuts, 69 DK points scoring average. Come on, man.
Yeah, you could do worse, probably. I don't know that for sure, but you could probably do worse.
Okay. What you got down here in the deep value, Adam?
Yeah, you hit a couple of guys. Matt Neesmith, he's got the game as far as the ball striking goes. Pretty solid on bogey avoidance. Hits a ton of greens in regulation in general. I don't hate Denny McCarthy at 6,700.
Hell of a putter.
Heck of a putter. And then if you're looking for a bomber type, just a guy along with Luke List, you know what I like to do in tournaments like this? If you think a type of player is going to kind of rise to the top, like your ball strikers, long hitters that can just hit the majority of the greens because they'll have shorter clubs in, stack guys like Keith Mitchell and Luke List. Like Mitchell showed some flashes at Sony a couple weeks ago. I think he shot 64, 63 2 rounds in a row. And it's good to see that because he's got the potential to be a fantastic tour player overall. And yeah, I mean, you could do worse than him at 6,700. So that's a guy I'm certainly looking at down here.
How about Wyndham Clark?
Wyndham's kind of in that player type too, but he just hasn't shown any signs of life recently.
Mark, any of these deep value guys?
Nope. I don't see myself going below Johnny Vegas. Maybe a little Naismith, but that's it.
All right, fair. Now, guys, if you're listening, if you're watching, we talked basically about everybody on the list, right? You can't play everybody. Those are just some guys we have some good feelings on. We highly recommend you go get memberships over at fantasynational.com, and they're just the best in the business at designing models and figuring out who you like to play. And hopefully we gave you some decent advice. Hopefully we'll get some quick picks out at Draft for Upside. Facebook page, of course, the iLogic Media page should be up there. And please check out our premium content over at fantasyfootballblueprint.com, eventually changing to fantasysportsblueprint.com to incorporate all the different things. I wish I wouldn't have shown you my NHL winnings because it's gone downhill steadily since I showed that to you, Mark.
That's all right. There's lots of games left.
That's what usually happens. Yeah, man, let's go through and just gut feeling. Also, remember, it's Tuesday. There's plenty of time left. Gut feeling, who's your favorite, two guys in that like 8.5K, 8K and up range, Adam? Who's just your favorite two guys on Tuesday night?
Finau. I mean, I love Rory, but everyone's gonna love he's Rory.
Right.
I love Finau up there. We talked about how we're not loving the 9K range. I am sticking with that. I'm just gonna trust the model, man. Just gonna trust the model. Let's go Bubba Watson. I think Bubba Watson contends this week.
Fair. All right. I'm on Matt Wolf. I like Matt Wolf a ton. And Ryan Palmer. That's probably going to be two guys in a lot of my lineups. Mark.
I like Siwoo. And I like Bubba too. I think Bubba's going to contend. He's going to be up there.
Interesting. All right, let's move on to the next chunk. Coco. I think all three of us liked Coco. I'm on Coco. And scrolling down a little bit further. Oh gosh, that mid-range. Yeah. Coco and Cam Davis are probably my two favorite in that mid-range. Mark, what do you got?
I'm going to stick with my Jordan Spieth call. And I also like Grillo this week.
Fair. Adam, what do you like here in that mid-range? Gun to your head. What do you got?
Why would you do that?
Because I'm telling you, gun to your head. Who you got? Two players in the mid-range.
Two in the mid-range. I'm gonna go with Coco. Got a good feeling about Coco this week, and just because I think he's gonna be very low owned as well, I'm going to go with Mr. Charlie Hoffman.
I like it. All right. And in the low range, I think Adam and I are both going to agree on Luke List, but who else you got in the bargain basement?
One I forgot to mention as we went through is Tom Hoagie. He's actually 12th in strokes gained total the last three times through here. 4th in strokes gained approach, and he actually finished quite well last season. So he's my other bargain guy that I forgot to mention. So thanks for reminding me. Finished 5th here last year and 12th 2 years before that. So Hollywood Hoagie, 6,900. Let's do it.
All right. And as I said, Luke List, I'm going to keep riding the Molinari pizza train. And Mark, round us out for your favorite two value plays.
I'm going to go with James Hahn and Kevin Streelman.
All right. James Hahn, man. Really like him. He's been doing well for me. All right, guys. Well, I very much appreciate it. Again, we are in the cup with Draft for Upside. We will have some more content. Hopefully, we'll be doing some NHL on Thursday, whether it be Mark and I or Lou will join. Who knows? But the Best Pucking podcast has got to get kicked off since hockey season is now a couple weeks deep. And get that done. And I don't know that we'll do a football show or not for the Super Bowl. Maybe probably pop on and do a quick showdown. But that's pretty much done with for now, huh?
Yep.
So make sure you keep an eye out for the sports crew, Lou Lander and Phil Chappie and all the gang out there that is out and about. Also on the channel, make sure you go check out ilogicmedia.com for all of your podcast distribution needs. We are Draft for Upside. I'm Johnny Danger for Brewery Mark and for Mr. Adam White. You guys have a very good night. Cheers.
Cheers.